back to my channel. So for this tutorial I'm going to be showing you guys two easy methods of making this butterfly sleeve or flutter sleeve that is usually a long sleeve with fitted lower bottom. So it's like a long sleeve but it's fitted at the end. So basically what you have to do is to cut. So guys, I'm going to start with my fabric folded into two. So I'm starting with the easiest one, and then I'm going to show you guys how to do it if you want to drape it, if you want to cut it on a pattern paper. So the easy one is just, you're going to start with how you're going to determine the length is, first you're going to measure from your shoulder to where you want the flail to drape, like the drapey part of it to fall. So let's say this is my shoulder now, that's the edge of my shoulder. I'm going to measure how far I want the drapey part to fall. So it can be up to before your elbow, it can be like 7 inches, it can be 8 inches, it can be whatever. So I'm using like 5 inches because this fabric here is small. So I'm just going to say I'm using 5 inches. And then the next thing you're going to measure is, at this point, before you put in this sleeve, you must have gone ahead and finished up the body of your cloth, like your bodies, because just how you normally make a circle sleeve, how you attach a circle sleeve, which I'm going to put in at the end of the video. You know how you normally finish the body of the dress, sewn in the seam allowance, sewn in everything, is just the opening for the sleeve. You're going to go back into that end of the sleeve and measure what you have there. So let's say you measure it and you have about 8 inches or 7 inches, whatever you have there, you're going to come in here and insert it. So for me and for the purpose of this video, I'm going to say I have about 5 inches. So I'm just going to go ahead and just insert about 5 inches here. Just trace it yourself and insert it here. So I'm going to mark that in here, and then once I mark it in here, the next thing you're going to do is, now you're going to have the remaining length of the sleeve. So I have about 7 inches more left, because remember, this top part here is still going to drape and fall. So the actual length of my sleeve is starting at this top part here, because this is where will be attached to the shoulder. This part where my armhole is in, because the rest of it is going to fall over like this. So now all I have to do is I know now that the length of my sleeve is about this much, 7 inches. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark where I want the fitted part to start. So I'm going to come up 2 inches here. It depends on you where you want yours to start, and then you're going to just freehand and mark it like a circle all the way down here. But before that, you come up to this part here and you're going to insert your sleeve width round here, wherever it is that is going to stop. So I'm going to use about 4 inches, and then I'm going to add 1 inch of my seam allowance. So here, so round your arm wherever it is here, divided by 2. So I'm making mine like 4 inches. Like mine is 8 divided by 2, 4, plus 1 inch of seam allowance, 5. So mark that here and bring it up this way, and then I'm going to mark the rest of it to just come down here and fit into this part here. So this is basically what mine looks like. So at this point now, I'm going to go ahead and cut this out. So guys, now that I've cut this out, I'm also going to go ahead and cut out the opening for my armhole, my sleeve to fit in. So guys, you see the reason why I said by now you must have finished joining the body of your dress, because this opening here, there's no slash here, so that you say, okay, if I cut it open here, I can join it and then sew it in with my body or the body of my dress. No, this opening here is just going to fit into the opening of where your armhole is. You're going to pin it down here, and know that this part here that you notched is going to be at the shoulder part, and then this lower part here is going to be at where the seam of the lower part of your armhole is. This is the upper part of the armhole, lower part of the armhole. You're just going to open it up this way and sew it round into the armhole, one in front, one at the back. Sew it like that, so that when it drops, it's going to fall over this way. So you see what it's going to look like. So let me close it up so you can see. So once you close it up, it's going to fall over like this way. So you see, this is what it's going to look like this here. It's going to flutter this way, but at this lower part here, remember this lower part here, we're still going to add a cuff. So to add the cuff, all you have to do is to fold your fabric into 2. You can use, depending on the length you want, whatever length you want to use, you can use that. So I'm going to just cut out mine for the purpose of this video. I'm going to just use about 4 inches folded into 2. That's going to be like 2 inches on each side. And then I'm going to take it and sew it into this here. like this. I'm going to just take it, flip this way, and then sew it here to make my curve. But remember, as you're making your curve, leave about 1 inch or so that once you close it up, you will have room for your button, right? You can close up, you can just take it this way, the way it is now. This is what you want to use for your curve. Measure out what your curve is going to be, and then you're going to, let's say this is the part I'm using here, you're going to close up this side, and then flip it inside out. And then one is going to overlap the other at this end here, so that you can put your button on one side and your buttonhole on the other side. But before then, you're also going to go ahead, if you're using lining, you can cut exactly this same pattern for your lining, and then all you have to do is to sew it all the way around this way. But you're going to leave this part open, and then you're also going to leave this part open, and then you join it, flip it inside out, right? So you're going to start this side. If you're using a lining, to turn it over, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to be using a bias to turn mine, finish up the edges of mine, and then I'm going to attach the band. So that's the first method of doing this. So moving over to the second method, this is the one where you use your pattern paper. I'm going to use one side of the pattern paper. As you can see, I've cut this out. This is where I want the flay to stop, the flowy part of it to stop before the fitted parts, right? So all I have to do here is just to go ahead, and I marked the line straight. I'm going to go ahead and cut that down here, and then I'm also going to go ahead and take my ruler, and then I'm going to slash about, it depends on you how many lines you want to mark here. I'm going to do 4, so it depends on you. I'm going to do four lines here, and then I'm going to cut each line, but I'm not going to cut it to the very end. So guys, now that I've cut this way, so as you can see, I made sure to write that this is going to be on a fold, right? So once you mark this way, all you have to do now is to open this up like this. It depends on you how much you want to, how much gap you want to have in between this way. You can open it up this way, like this, and then you're going to go ahead now, and you see it's still giving the same flutter look. So all you have to do now is just the way it is now. I'm going to put in a pepper below, and then I'm going to tape it down. It depends on you what you want to use. You can use 3 inches in between the gap. You can just spread it out and then just give it a curve like this. So once you spread it out like this, you're going to give it a curve like this, joining to this end, joining to this end. And then coming down here, you see it's giving the same look as the other one. This one here, you're going to have seam allowance at this top part here to join it together, right? Because you're going to be closing up the seam at the top part here. But this one here is the easier method to use. So I'm just going to go back in now and use bias to finish up mine and bring it back. As you can see, I've used bias to finish up the inside of mine. So you see what it looks like now. So this is the curve. I also went ahead and added the curve. If I remove this now, this is what it looks like. So guys, this is the pattern here. You see it's also giving the same shape as this one here. You see what it looks like. It's almost the same way. It just depends on you what you want to do. So all you have to do now for this one here is just to cut out this part. And as you can see, I added about 1/2 inch at the top here to join the shoulder part. So you see this is the main line here. I added another 1/2 inch at the edge here for my seam allowance to join the shoulder part, and then you just cut out this whole part here. So that's basically your sleeve here. So it depends on you which one you want to use here, but I feel like with this one you get more flay because it gives you more, I think it gives you more flay, this one here. So you see what it looks like now. So once it falls over this way, it just falls like this on the side. So let me just try and show you guys what it will look like. So guys, this is what it looks like here. If you see, I don't know if you guys can see, but this is just me. Guys, basically, if you put it on at the shoulder part, it will just fall over like this. So this is basically what it will look like here. This part here will be open like this. This part here will flow in around it this way. You just put your button and the buttonhole on this end here. So that's basically it here. So thank you guys so much for watching. Please like, share and subscribe. Bye.